In Truck Tech, we keep trying to do something new. Here's our second shot at doing 5 minutes with. Today, Sally Davies, who is the Director of Plant Communications at the New River Valley operations for Robo Truck. We want to talk about something that we obviously have in the newsletter today, and that is this whole idea of really an industry-wide adoption now of logistics with electric trucks.
Right.
Volvo really was the first with that.
Yeah, I don't know for sure, Alan, that we were the first with it, but we certainly adopted it early. As soon as we launched our electric truck serial production, it was kind of a challenge that came to us from Jens Holtinger, who's our EVP of Group Trucks Operations, and Roger Alm, who is the president globally for Volvo Trucks. And, they brought a challenge to our production logistics team and said, where can we use our own BEVs in our own logistics flows? And so our PL team went to work and looked for routes, the different transportation partners, and of course the supply partners to see if we could make that happen here.
So you've got a little more than 2 years into it at this point. What have you learned so far? What it seems like a great use case for still early technology.
Yeah, I think it is. It's really a good use case. I think overall, when you look at it, we started with 2 carriers and three electric trucks between the 2 carriers. And, these are the short milk runs. So when you talk about it being a really good use case, it truly is. These are short routes that either go to a 3PL or to a supplier that's near us. And, that we have frequent high runner parts that are coming into the plant. And so it's this constant flow. And a couple of the learnings that we've had from the first 2 years of this is that our partners like it, our employees really like it from the standpoint of they get to see the trucks that we've built actually in use in the community. And that's something great. The community seems to love it because, of course, we have about 50 of these routes now on a day. And it's quiet,
With electric.
With electric, just with our electric trucks. And so, the community, we get people who actually say this is a fantastic thing for me as a driver because, it's quiet. It's nice to see these trucks on the road.
When they come into the plant, obviously those who are unloading and things like that, they're not getting any idling noise. They're not getting any idling odors or anything like that.
Right. Yeah. It's a really nice fit for the employees who are unloading the trucks every day because, like you said, it really cuts down on emissions, of course. And the noise factor, I think, is something really big for people because the electric truck is so quiet. You hardly notice it. And, noise pollution is kind of an extra benefit, a reduction of noise pollution because we're always so focused on the CO2 reduction. But this is a nice reduction in that kind of environmental piece. So
it has expanded, as you say, you've got about 50 routes now. Do you have any idea how many miles you've?
Yeah. So our materials guys pulled those numbers together. So for the 2 years, it's been about 95,000 miles so far, which is great when you really consider the fact that these are short runs. So if you look at the numbers, if our logistics flow runs using the BEVs are anywhere between 4 miles round trip and about 11 miles round trip. So when you think about 95,000 miles over 2 years on these short runs, it really adds up. Substantial.
What does this sort of mean as you look out longer? I mean, obviously we're still looking at pretty short runs and ranges for most of these trucks. I mean, drayage is one of their main uses and things like that. But you've obviously been able to feed something into this into the equation now in terms of what you've learned.
Yeah, I think the experience has been so good across the board, no matter if you're talking for us or for the partners. So that's number one. I think as we look as infrastructure is built out, throughout the country, the nationwide infrastructure is built out, and there are more opportunities. I think we see a really good potential for continuing this down the road. And even for our short-term runs, like the ones that are now currently in use, one of our logistics partners, Camrat, is adding 2 more trucks by the end of the second quarter this year. So then there will be a total of 8 trucks then in this area doing these. So I think the potential is really great there.
So Sally, I guess the question is, how could this information be shared? Is there a playbook out there? Obviously it's something you can share within Volvo.
Right.
But what There's some buyers that might want to look at this and things like that.
Right.
Something from them.
Well, I don't think there's a playbook per se, Alan, but it's certainly something we would love to share with anybody else because, of course, when you make an advancement like this, we want to share. Volvo has always been big about sharing the kind of innovations that they do. So certainly we would be totally open for that. And internally, there has been a lot of attention on the NRV example and our other plans. And so much so, in fact, that we at NRV, the team here with Production Logistics was awarded the Climate Resources Prize for GTO Awards in 2022. So we're really proud of that.
Very good. All right. Well, Sally Davies, thanks so much for being part of 5 Minutes.
Absolutely. Nice to see you, Alan.
Good to see you too.